In terms of people, we're having more and more people on, as it were, the factory floor, dealing with the issue. And I think that these are the measures that we need to continue with, expand, refine, so that hopefully, very soon, we'll have a health care system that not only provides insurance universally across the country, but that is also efficient, and thereby, of course, increases its humanity. That's what we should be doing.
I think we have time for one question from Mr. Bombande, who has the microphone, the Executive Director of the West African Network for Peace Building.
Nana, how does your vision for a peaceful and stable West Africa, how is it informed by promoting human security in Ghana, in which the current spate of armed robbery, in which women are raped and people are killed in their homes, at least will be minimized completely? And you mentioned increasing the police service in terms of numbers. Do you have clear policies in terms of concrete and specific ways of enhancing service delivery that is qualitative? And do you, in your vision, have any agenda to further national reconciliation, particularly amongst politicians and the future of Ghana's politics? Thank you.
That's one question for the price of 3.
Well, I think, what I began by talking about the figures was to give you an idea of the dimensions of the problem. When we came to office, some of that to repeat this, but the facts have to be stated to the record so that people can understand from where our action is beginning. So we came into office, 15,000 people in uniform, operating a pool of vehicles in Ghana, less than 100. Nationwide, serviceable vehicles in the police service. And you can well imagine, we're not dealing with 100, let us even use the figure 100. 1/3 probably are at headquarters. Assistant Commissioner, and then the rest are out there. Clearly, that is not a force that is capable of fighting crime in our country. I always remember, somehow or other I've escaped this particular problem of armed robbery and thieves. A number of cousins of mine, great agents, lived in Canation, was robbed. This naive was, oh, go to the police and report it. So she went. She came back and told me that the police said, you know it's wrong. Madam, you go and bring us a car, we'll go and catch them. That's it. Today, we have attempted to do 2 or 3 things. Increase the personnel, increase the infrastructure in terms of the logistics. There are now over 1,000 cars in custody of the Ghana Police Service, and also improve, hopefully, the training, which will then lead to a better perception of how people should work. We know the problems of the police service, but that is the trajectory we will be able to increase the capacity, the capability, and also the training. Clearly, not with the spate of crime in big scale. It's telling you something about also what is happening in the larger society. We need to address these problems of economic development. I believe that the quicker we can expand our economy and give opportunities and jobs for people, the more likely, it's not necessary. Well, there are some people who are criminals, whether or not they have work. But there are also people who fall into criminal activity for want of how the wherewithal to survive. If we can deal with the question of how rapidly we can grow our economy, becomes another way of dealing with the matter. The efficiency with which the police work, the cooperation from civil society, these are all factors in effective crime prevention or crime detection and management. In that, these are the methods, how we can localize the police service so that it's under the control at the local level of local authorities, that they can then demand accountability there. That's also another thing that we're going to have to look at and bring into being. We have this local accountability for the work of these public institutions, police being one of the most critical. But yes, we've got to work at it, because I just don't see any way out of regional integration if our countries really live. I think it's a necessity, a historic necessity for us, and we have to work at it to bring it into being. These matters of human security are very serious matters, but I think we're floating in the right direction. And also, of course, that we continue to keep this open system. Well, this is one of the things that has enhanced accountability here in Ghana. The fact that all of us today can speak our minds and raise questions about how the public will is being managed. And we're no longer cowed in our little corners, afraid to open our mouths because we might offend one or other savior or liberator or revolutionary or whatever. That period of our history is gone. Now here we are in an atmosphere whereby people are asking questions and are insisting on a certain sort of conduct to the part of public authorities. I think that this mesh of things, we'll put them all together, will enhance our capability to deal with crime in Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, and I think according to the program, you have a couple of minutes to sum up if you wish.
Oh, well, it's been a very challenging evening. I was a little bit nervous when I was coming. I wasn't quite sure what I think and these occasions, but it's something that I've enjoyed very much, the dialogue between us. My prayer, this year especially, that we in Ghana recognize the points of history where we are. And it's extremely important for us to conduct ourselves well this year, so that the gains that we have made as a democratic nation, we don't forfeit those gains on the altar of political ambitions. That we continue to hold fast to the idea that an open democratic system is the best form of government for ourselves. Who knows? We've tried everything else, and it didn't really bring us much benefit. And we can see, if we persevere down the road in which we are now, we will see big light at the end of the tunnel. And it says the need for the unity of our nation. I'm not talking about the unity of robots, where everybody's asked to think the same. No. It's important that there should be differences of opinion, and that we should all have our own way of looking at public and private matters. But that there's a recognition amongst us that wherever you are in that, to whatever little ethnic group or religious arrangement that you were born into, that you're first and foremost a Ghanaian. And that sense of being a Ghanaian continues to be the link between all of us. Because if we have these matters, the opportunities for our country are immense. I do not believe that it was by accident that a little country, Gold Coast, middle of West Africa, 6 million people, this vast continent, was the country that initiated the process of the liberation of our country. I think there's a special destiny for us as Ghanaians. And I'm hoping that we will be able collectively to realize that destiny. I want to play a part in making that possible. And hopefully, give me your vote in December.
Could you please be seated for a second? Please, we just got a couple of minutes more. I'd like to invite Mr. William Ampimdako, Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, who have been kind enough to, along with IE and Joy FM, bring you this program. Mr. Ampimdako.
Good evening, Nana Adudanko Akufo-Addo. Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners out there. The first time we met over here, I talked I appeal to the political parties to use multimedia and new technologies for their political campaign to change the strategy. Last week, the media, that we should try as much as possible to give equal playing field to all the political parties. And also, I appeal to the Electoral Commission to be well prepared for the assignment ahead. Today, my intention was to appeal to the electorate to exercise their civic right by registering and going to the polling stations to vote during elections. But just when we started the question time, the first question that was raised, I believe you quite remember, was, what will you do to bring lasting peace to Baku? I said, oh, at such a gathering, is Baku so important that that should be the top question that an aspiring president should answer? I was thinking we're expecting a question like, Nana, what will you do to bring about a laptop to every people in a school? Or we are 6.5 years to the end of the Millennium Development Goals. We've passed 50% of the journey, but I don't think we've attained 50% of any of the targets. What will you do so that we can accelerate the attainment of these goals? Nothing like that happened. So I had to change my mind and talk about Baku. Because it looks like, as we are over here now, when you go to Baku, the District Coordinating Council is not thinking about food production or anything. They're just thinking about how to bring peace to Baku. When you go to Bulgaria, the Regional Coordinating Council is wasting time on ends on Baku. And I believe if Cabinet meets on Thursdays, this evening, they're going to spend perhaps the whole night on Baku. I believe it's enough. Baku is enough. And the new flashpoints which are coming up, I believe if we are to have a credible election, as much as possible, those who are involved in these atrocities must, as much as possible, advise themselves and refrain from continuing with this Baku crisis because it's not in any way helping anyone. I believe we've all enjoyed this evening, and as usual, I'm not going to say anything about what Nana said. You have listened to him. You have to make your decision on 7th of December if you want to vote for him. Thank you, and we welcome you to the next encounter.
I think if Alabaster Box are here, they should give us a rendition of the national anthem. Alabaster Box are here. Otherwise, it remains for me to say thank you very much to the candidate Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, and to all of you, Your Excellencies, and honorable and distinguished citizens of our country. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you very much. Yes.
Sorry.